Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks, where the wilderness doesn't care who you are and survival comes down to instincts, luck, and sometimes geology. Today's story takes us to the rugged landscape of Glacier National Park, just outside Walton, Montana. This is a land carved by ancient ice and still ruled by snow-capped peaks, dense forests, and roaring creeks. Trails wind through larch groves and berry-laden thickets. Perfect country for hikers, and unfortunately for bears too. It was on one of these trails, the Autumn Creek Trail, where 26-year-old Gregg Erickson found himself hiking on the afternoon of Thursday, July 2nd, 1987. Gregg was a geology grad student from Texas A&M University, working toward his master's degree. His field of study had him learning about rock deposits and the properties of various rocks found in any given area. Studying how resources may be found in certain rock deposits was a skill that may land him a job in the energy or mining sectors in the future. It brought him outdoors, and that is where he was happiest. Summer was his break time, and he took every opportunity to get into the wilderness. It was a comfortable place for him, a place where his stress and worries melted away like the morning dew. He never felt threatened there, but hadn't come face to face with a grizzly bear in the wild yet. Whether he was scouting rock formations or just stretching his legs, we don't know for sure. But what we do know is that he walked into a moment that would change his life. While hiking solo, not carrying bear spray or a firearm, Gregg made a noise. It might have been a shout or a clap, something to alert any wildlife in the area, and it worked, because just ahead a mother grizzly bear and her cubs heard him. She and her cubs had been concealed in a thick brush below Gregg on the slope. They may have been napping in their daybeds, or browsing for mushrooms or pine nuts, but as soon as the sow was alerted to his presence, she charged. Before Gregg could react, he saw the brush shaking on the slope below him. His mind raced as he hoped it was a deer busting from its daybed. He tried to keep his mind from panicking, but his feet and hands seemed to move on their own in a confused and unorganized gesticulation. With no time to think, Gregg did the only thing he could. He knew running was futile, and lying on the ground, enduring painful bite after bite, sounded like a terrible option. He wasn't sure if he could keep his composure as the bear ripped him limb from limb. Gregg turned and jumped a short distance down a steep slope beside the trail he was on. The loose dirt and gravel allowed him to continue to slide down the rock slide. But this was Glacier, and this was a grizzly. The sow knew she had to neutralize this threat that had so stealthily surprised her only moments before. She barreled down the same rock slide right behind Gregg, swiping her paws and snapping her jaws at him only inches away. Gregg was winning the race, initially, but toward the bottom of the slide, the sow closed in on him. Once Gregg stopped sliding, the sow nearly bowled him over before she bit into his leg, snapping with her teeth. She jerked his leg toward her, and in one smooth, quick motion, slapped her paw across his back, opening up gashes and puncture wounds where her claws touched. But just as quickly as the attack began, it stopped. Park officials later said the mother bear probably realized Gregg wasn't a threat. He didn't fight, he didn't yell, he stayed down, and maybe that saved him. The bear turned and vanished into the trees with her cubs. Gregg, bloodied, bruised, and no doubt running on adrenaline, stood up, limped to his car, and somehow drove himself to a hospital in Browning, where he was treated for minor puncture wounds to his back and leg. He was released the next day. Let that sink in. He walked away from a grizzly attack with all his limbs and his life. Park spokesman Bob Murphy said Glacier sees about one bear attack each season, and this one followed a common pattern. A surprised sow with cubs, acting defensively, then breaking off once she judged the situation safe. The bear was never found, and she wasn't hunted down because she wasn't behaving abnormally. She was being a bear. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Tier membership on Patreon is linked below. It gives you ad-free early access to all our episodes, and your $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to make educational and entertaining videos like this. Now, Glacier National Park is home to around 300 to 600 grizzly bears roaming across 1 million acres. That's about one bear every 2 to 4 square miles. Not a bad average, unless you're on the wrong 2 square miles on the wrong day. Erickson's story joins a long history of bear encounters in Glacier, including the infamous Night of the Grizzlies in 1967, when 2 women were killed in 2 separate bear attacks on the same night. That tragedy changed how the U.S. manages bears in national parks forever. But Gregg, he lived to tell the tale, to finish his degree, and to remember forever what it felt like to look into the face of a mother grizzly. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Should solo hikers always carry bear spray, even in moderately trafficked areas? Did Gregg's noise trigger the bear, or did it give her just enough warning to stop her from killing him? What's the real danger zone between a sow and her cubs? 10 yards? 30? And how close do you have to be to danger before the woods decide you're part of the story? I'll leave you with this. Grizzly encounters are rare, but when they happen, they're unforgettable. So be smart out there. Be loud. Be ready. And when you walk into bear country, remember, it's their country first. Thanks for listening. I'll gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.